What's going on, guys? Money Making Joey back here doing another video, and this video is going to be a tad bit different because as of the last couple months I've been really making a lot of videos pertaining to Uber specifically. Now, if you guys have been subscribed to the channel for some time, you guys know that during the pandemic, like 2020, 2021, I was mostly driving on Lyft. It wasn't really until late 2021 that I really started driving on Uber, kind of for the most part, because I felt like driving on Lyft was a tad bit better. I did operate between both apps for some time, and I'm going to be honest. When Lyft introduced upfront pay, I completely stopped driving for them. Like on the Lyft platform back in those days when I solely drove for them, I used to take a lot of airport trips. I used to take a lot of long trips. So when they introduced upfront fares, it was kind of a shock to me because I never forget that there was one night that I was out driving on the Lyft platform, and like, I'm in North Jersey. I had just dropped someone off in Jersey City, and then I get a ping from Jersey City to take someone all the way to Philadelphia. And I remember looking at the amount of money that they had up there, for this upfront fare for this long trip. I immediately declined it. And I kept my eye after that always on, these long trips. Now, it's like, for those of us out there that we've been driving for some time prior to the pandemic, we know about the rate card. So it's odd to me that right now, since Lyft introduced upfront pay, in our region, which I think everyone in the country has upfront pay, it's only on the Uber platform that everyone does not have upfront pay. I am not sure of Pacific regions where Uber offers this upfront pay. I do know for sure they have it up in Boston, but here in North Jersey we absolutely do not have it. I know in New York they do not have it as well, but pretty much for Lyft you have it everywhere. So now I remember the rate card. I know how much money I get paid per mile and per minute. That's a fact. Now, if you're someone that's new to the Lyft platform, you don't even have the ability to see this anymore in the app. But years ago, we actually did. So now you get the upfront pay amount and you accept this trip and you take it. Now, I'm going to be honest, this was something that I saw really in longer trips. If you were taking short trips, this is not something that you would have actually, got to see. But now I could take this number, and I had screenshots. I probably deleted them since this was some time ago, but I basically now had all of these screenshots where I'm comparing, pulling up my calculator and doing the math. And I'm like, on a long trip like that, you really gave me a $15 cut at least from what you used to pay. So due to that, I had really stopped driving on the Lyft platform altogether, and I mainly focused on Uber. Now, I'm going to let you guys know in this video that actually has changed, which of course is the premise to this video. Since that time, I think it's been a little bit over a year that they introduced this upfront pay model. There has also been a lot of changes. Now, one thing I do want to give Lyft is that what I just mentioned previously is not really going on so much now. I do think that they kind of adjusted it a tad bit, even though for the most part, I still do not take long trips on any platform, whether it be Uber or Lyft. Now, even though I see the difference here now, one thing that I've noticed, and you guys let me know down in the comments if you've noticed it as well, is that like on shorter trips, there'll be a trip that Uber, let's say in my area, will pay $3.71 for. That's the minimum. Over on the Lyft platform, you might get $4 or $5 for that trip. Now, there is some things that I looked at in the Lyft platform that kind of concerns me. And you guys also, I need you to get down below in the comments and let me know what the community thinks about this, because one thing that actually popped up that I was looking at on the Lyft platform, and I do have, Lyft pulled up right here. So I'm scrolling through here. I might have to go online to see it because it's not showing now. But they have this thing, and I actually was out driving using it yesterday. Now, remember what I just told you guys about short trips, because I want to go back to my history of driving yesterday and pull this up for you guys, because it's basically called priority mode, where this is a feature that you have the ability to turn on while you're driving. You don't have to turn it on, but you can turn it on. Now, if you decide to turn it on, what essentially happens is you're in priority mode, so they're going to push you more trips. Now, you're going to be taking a pay cut on these trips. Now, I've noticed this immediately when it comes to short trips. I can only imagine with longer trips. I've only probably had access to this week, and I didn't see any long trips yesterday on the Lyft platform. So I'll keep my eye out over the weekend and make sure to keep you guys up to date, because now there was a point yesterday I did have this. And like I was telling you guys previously about all of the short trips, typically, the minimum on short trips I see on the Lyft platform in normal mode, I guess you can say, is $4. While I was in priority mode, and actually, here you guys go. You can actually see it because it has the upfront pay, amount actually in there. I'm going to try to, yeah, you guys can actually see it. I actually got paid $3.52 for this trip, and I believe, yeah, it normally would have been $4, $4.15, whatever the case may be. So essentially, when you decide to go ahead and turn on priority mode, I'm going to sum it up for you guys. You guys are actually going to be pushed more trips, but you're taking a little bit of a pay cut. And they openly say that when you read, the details of priority mode, where what they're essentially saying is, yeah, you're taking a pay cut, but we do believe that if you're operating in priority mode, you will get a 15% increase in what you would have made, even though we're giving you a pay cut. And the reason why that they're saying that is because in priority mode, let's hypothetically say me and you are parked in the same parking lot. You're in regular mode, I'm in priority mode. I am going to be getting trips way before you get a trip. Now, this is going to be a disadvantage for someone that's not in priority mode. And anytime you turn on the Lyft platform, you can't basically all the time be in priority mode. I believe it's 12 hours per week that's specifically designated to priority mode. So now, my big question is, like, what disadvantage does this put drivers in, where you have a situation where, let's say you use your 12 hours of priority mode, you're sitting here now in regular mode, and you have guys around you a couple blocks away in your region that they're sucking up priority mode and they're getting all of the trips in the area. Yes, they're getting paid less for these trips. And like I said, each trip, it might be 50 cents. But when you think about a big company like Lyft, 50 cents times millions of trips every day, it actually totals up to something. But I mean, you guys are going to have to let me know in the comments. I'm not sure if I fully like this one or not. Now, I'm going to let you guys know that the overall reason, and over the last couple months, I've been driving on the Lyft platform a lot, and the reason is because of upfront pay. There are times where I'm out driving and it's getting close to the end and I don't want to get pulled out too far, or I'm in a Pacific area because I got pulled out too far and I'm specifically only looking to designate my trips down. I like being able to be in an upfront pay scenario, being able to dictate where I'm going. Now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, why don't you just use the filters? And the filters are okay. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Being able to control your day in a upfront pay kind of scenario is actually way better than, messing around with those filters or anything like that. So that's a perk that Lyft does have over Uber, in my opinion. When Uber does decide, and I'm not even sure that they're ever going to decide to fully do what Lyft did and offer upfront pay all across the country in all of the different regions, just due to the fact that they said they wanted to test, and I don't really believe the test comes back in the company's favor. It more so comes back in, the driver's favor due to the fact that I can now cherry pick. I hear so many people speaking about how they're able to cherry pick on Uber, where it's like, if your acceptance rating isn't really that good and you don't see where the person is going, how are you really cherry picking? The only way you can actually cherry pick is you have upfront pay like we have on the Lyft. So I can sit on the Lyft platform all day, cherry pick my rides out, not put that many miles on the vehicle, and maximize, let's say 100-mile radius, and actually make, some decent money without devaluing my vehicle and spending, a ton of money on gas. So right now, I would definitely say that is a perk that Lyft has. Now, I know specifically that Lyft is working on attracting more customers by making themselves cheaper than the competition, of which of course is Uber. I would definitely say that in this slow season that we are currently sitting in January going into February, that's another reason I guess you could say I've also been using Lyft, is that during slow times like we're in right now, January, February, and March might be a little bit iffy as well, you're gonna need to multi-app. And I'm going to make a video on that specifically. So that's another reason we've been equating Lyft into our day. Now, one thing that I've noticed, multi-apping, is that years ago, I would definitely say that a lot of customers were choosing Uber over Lyft. That is starting to change. I've been noticing over the last couple of weeks, there will be times that I will have the Uber app on here in North Jersey, and I could sit for 10, 20 minutes, but thank God I got the Lyft app on as well, because while Uber is slow, Lyft is actually killing them. So whatever they're doing also with changes on the customer side is going to also, be beneficial, of course, for Lyft, the company, but I can tell it's changing, for drivers. Now, will this cause Uber to lower prices on the passengers end? Possibly. I don't know. Only time will tell. 2024, will definitely be interesting. So definitely, guys, if you're out there watching this video and you've been sleeping on Lyft, I know Uber, with the Quest bonuses, the perks, you'll also make more money there, and a lot of drivers won't even turn on the Lyft app. You might want to give it some consideration, especially right now that it's slow. You could be using this as a prime opportunity to go ahead and be multi-apping. So, like always, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you found value from it. And get subscribed to the channel. Money Making Joey, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys in the next one.